Sunday Night Football is coming, and with it, one of the most anticipated AFC East matchups of the season. The Buffalo Bills, the last undefeated team in the conference, are set to host the New England Patriots. And let's just say, there's a lot more on the line here than just another win or loss. This game feels different. It feels like a litmus test for where both teams really stand, especially for a Patriot squad that's trying to redefine itself in the Mike Vrabel era. The storyline starts with momentum. Buffalo is rolling. They haven't just been winning, they've been imposing their will, and doing it in different ways. Whether it's through the air, with Josh Allen playing smart, efficient football, or on the ground with a surprisingly diverse and effective run game, the Bills are showing that they can beat you in more ways than one. But here comes New England, fresh off a dominant win over Carolina, and you get the sense that this team is starting to feel itself a little. Or are they? Because if there's one message that keeps repeating out of Foxborough, it's that this group knows it hasn't proven anything yet. Mike Vrabel said it himself in the locker room after the Carolina win. Everyone's going to be watching us. And he's right. This is prime time. This is a measuring stick. And for a team that's been through 2 straight 4-win seasons, walking into Week 5 with a chance to hand the Bills their first loss, that's an opportunity that can't be overstated. Now let's talk quarterbacks. Drake May is the real deal. It's early in his career, sure, but already you see flashes, not just of talent, but of that quality. The one where you say, this guy can carry a franchise. Whether it's the throws on the run, the poise on third downs, or the ability to bounce back after mistakes, Drake May is giving New England fans something they haven't had in years: hope under center. But hope alone isn't going to beat Buffalo, because across the field stands Josh Allen, who's not only playing like a top 5 quarterback again, but has the experience, the chemistry, and the full backing of a well-oiled offense. And that's where the challenge really starts for the Patriots. The Bills aren't just undefeated, they're layered. The offense doesn't revolve around a single weapon anymore. Stephon Diggs? Sure, he's still a threat, but now you've got a committee of receivers, tight ends, and a run game that can hit from multiple angles. They lead the NFL in EPA per rush and average nearly 5 yards carry. That's elite territory. And what makes it even harder to deal with is their personnel diversity. They'll hit you with 2 tight ends. They'll throw a fullback at you. They'll go heavy and spread you out, sometimes in the same drive. And all of that is orchestrated by a quarterback who is a nightmare to contain, especially when he breaks the pocket. That's what makes this such a fascinating test for New England's defense. Because statistically, they've been great against the run. They're top 5 in EPA per rush allowed. They've kept opponents under 3.5 yards per carry. But they haven't faced a team like this. They haven't dealt with Josh Allen. And they haven't faced a run scheme this multiple or this physical. So the question is, can the Patriots match the Bills at the line of scrimmage? Can they handle James Cook, who's quietly having a strong season? Can they protect the edge, where guys like K'Lavon Chaisson have been inconsistent and vulnerable? If they can't win in the trenches, this game might get away from them early. But New England does have some things working in its favor. Let's go back to the Carolina game. Yes, it was against a struggling team, but you don't put up 42 points by accident in the NFL. And more importantly, you don't shut a team out for 2 straight quarters unless you're doing something right on defense. That's where Vrabel's influence is starting to show. You can feel the culture shifting, the urgency, the discipline, the accountability. The Pats were one of the most penalized teams in football through the first few weeks, and now they're tightening up. That's the kind of thing that matters on the road, in a hostile environment like Buffalo. But let's not sugarcoat it. The Bills are elite at home. They haven't lost in Orchard Park in what feels like forever. Sean McDermott has built a fortress there. And when it comes to division games, this team shows up. There's a reason they've dominated the AFC East the last few seasons. They take these matchups seriously. They prepare for them like playoff games. And they usually win them. So for New England to even have a shot on Sunday night, everything has to go right. No turnovers. No blown assignments. No giving Josh Allen extra lives with missed tackles or late flags. Speaking of tackles, let's go back to one of the biggest vulnerabilities Buffalo has right now: run defense. And it's not just bad by their standards. It's bad, period. The Bills are giving up over 6 yards per carry. They're allowing more explosive runs than anyone in the league. Nearly 12% of runs against them are going for 15 yards or more. That's a recipe for disaster, especially against a quarterback like Drake May, who can extend plays and pick up first downs with his legs. This is where the Patriots can start to dream a little, because even though their run game hasn't lived up to expectations so far, barely cracking 4 yards a carry, the potential is there. Ramondre Stevenson is still capable of grinding out tough yards. Travion Henderson is starting to show flashes. And if the offensive line can finally gel on that left side, maybe they can finally start dictating terms. Maybe, but that's a big maybe. Because the Bills aren't just banged up on the defensive line, they're young. They're rotating in 2 rookie defensive tackles, and while Deion Walker has flashed, the consistency just isn't there yet. Ed Oliver's health is still in question. And without Matt Milano cleaning things up at linebacker, it's been open season at the second level. That's where May could really hurt them. If he's smart, decisive, and opportunistic, he can take what the defense gives and move the chains. But if he's careless, Buffalo will make him pay. The Bills thrive on turnovers. They disguise coverages. They bait young quarterbacks into mistakes. This will be Drake May's biggest test yet, and how he handles it could define the entire night. What makes this matchup so good is how unpredictable it feels. On paper, the Bills should handle business. They're the more complete team. They're home. They've been here before. But the Patriots are building something. You can feel it. And even if it's not fully ready yet, you can't ignore the signs. The quarterback is maturing fast. The defense is starting to settle in. The coaching staff is beginning to click. And maybe, just maybe, they're ready to punch up and make some noise in the division. There's a lot of pride on the line. For Buffalo, it's about staying perfect, defending home turf, and sending a message that they're still the kings of the AFC East. For New England, it's about proving they belong in that conversation again, that they're more than just a rebuilding team, that the Vrabel era isn't about patience, it's about progress. And what better way to show that than a walk into Highmark Stadium and hand the Bills their first loss of the season? It won't be easy, but if you're a Patriots fan, Sunday night might be the first time in a long time that you believe it's possible. One of the most compelling battles in this Sunday night clash isn't just between quarterbacks or head coaches. It's between coordinators. On one sideline, you've got Joe Brady, a respected offensive mind who has quietly transformed the Bills into one of the most versatile and efficient units in the league. On the other, a Patriots defensive staff that's still finding its rhythm. After a rough start to the year, including health concerns with Terrell Williams, the Patriots handed defensive play-calling duties to Zach Core, a young, relatively inexperienced voice now tasked with stopping one of the league's most unpredictable offenses. This is where the chess match begins. Because while the Patriots' defense has had some strong stretches, particularly in the second and third quarters of games, they haven't faced a scheme like this one. Joe Brady doesn't just call a good game. He builds layered attacks. He puts stress on the middle of the field. He uses shifts, motions, and unique personnel groupings to test communication, reaction, and discipline. And if there's one area where New England might be vulnerable, it's in that spine of the defense. The linebackers have been inconsistent. Robert Spillane has been solid, but Christian Ellis has been a liability in both the run and the pass. If there's any breakdown in gap integrity or coverage assignments, Buffalo will exploit it quickly. Buffalo's tight ends could be a problem. Dalton Kincaid is emerging as a real mismatch in the middle of the field, and with Kyle Duggar likely stepping into a bigger role due to injury, that's a potential weak point. Duggar has had his struggles in coverage, and if Jalen Hawkins is unavailable, it forces even more pressure on a secondary that's been mixing and matching all season. And it's not just the tight ends. Khalil Shakir does most of his work out of the slot, right where New England is thinnest. These are the types of matchups Buffalo loves to isolate and punish. But let's not act like this is going to be a one-sided night, because on the other side, the Patriots have their own set of weapons that could give Buffalo problems, starting with the tight ends. Hunter Henry has been the security blanket for Drake May all season long. When the offense stalls, it's usually Henry who bails them out on third down or inside the red zone. His chemistry with May is real, and it's getting stronger. Austin Hooper, meanwhile, has quietly become a valuable piece as both a blocker and a play-action option. He sprung a big play last week on a tight end screen and has been a steady presence when they need him to help set the edge in the run game. And let's not ignore what Josh McDaniels has been doing lately. After some early season criticism, McDaniels has really found a rhythm calling plays for Drake May. The play-action boot game has become a staple. They're moving the pocket, giving May time and space to operate. They're dialing up more quick throws on early downs to keep the offense on schedule. And they're letting May be himself, which is probably the most important development of all. When he's playing freely, reading the field, and using his legs to extend plays, the entire offense looks more dangerous. But here's the kicker. The Patriots still aren't running the ball well enough. And that's a problem, because if they want to neutralize Buffalo's pass rush and keep this game from becoming a track meet, they need to get something going on the ground. The offensive line has been better. Not perfect, but better. And they're starting to generate some push, particularly on the interior. But the backs haven't done enough with it. Ramondre Stevenson hasn't quite looked like himself this year. And while Travion Henderson is flashing talent, they need more consistency. This has to be the week they put it together. Because if they can't run the ball against a Bills defense that's giving up big plays in bunches, when are they going to? Now, let's flip it again. Josh Allen. The guy's been a nightmare for Mike Vrabel-coached defenses for years. He's unpredictable. He's violent as a runner. He's got that rocket arm. And even when a play breaks down, he might be more dangerous than when it goes according to script. Against New Orleans, he busted out a 30-yard scramble that completely shifted the momentum of the game. One moment, the Saints are hanging around. The next, Allen's dancing past linebackers and sprinting into field goal range. The Patriots cannot allow those moments to happen on Sunday night. Containment will be critical. That means disciplined edge play. That means linebackers reading their keys. And most importantly, that means tackling in space. Because if you miss once, he's going to make you pay. This Buffalo offense doesn't just rely on home runs, though. They're content to take 6, 8, 12 yards at a time. That's where Josh Allen has really evolved. He doesn't force as many throws. He'll hit the check down. He'll find a tight and sitting in a soft spot in zone. And that's what makes them so hard to stop. You can play tight man, and they'll beat you over the top. You can sit back in zone, and they'll carve you up underneath. And when you finally think you've got it all covered, Allen takes off and picks up 15 with his legs. It's frustrating. It's exhausting. And for a defense like New England's, which is still learning to play together, it can be overwhelming. But here's where the Patriots have a shot. Get Buffalo into 3rd and long. The Bills have been excellent on early downs, but when you make them play behind the sticks, you at least have a chance to send pressure and get creative. If you can win 1st and 2nd down, force Allen to make tougher throws, and maybe create a turnover or two, that's where the cracks start to show. And if there's one thing the Patriots have done fairly well this year, it's generating chaos in spurts. Strip sacks, tip balls, timely blitzes. They've got just enough in the bag to make things interesting. Before we dive back in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest Buffalo Bills updates straight to your screen. And hey, don't hold back. Let us know your thoughts on today's news down in the comments. In a move that has sent shockwaves across the NFL landscape, whispers are circulating that Derrick Henry, the unstoppable force in Tennessee, may be on the verge of an unprecedented shift. Sources close to the situation suggest that Henry has reached a breaking point with his current team, and all signs point to him setting his sights on the Buffalo Bills. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the mere possibility of Henry donning the Bills' blue and red has sent fans, analysts, and even rival locker rooms into a frenzy. Henry, a titan in the backfield and a 2-time rushing leader, has long been the cornerstone of his franchise's offense. Yet, according to insiders, tensions behind the scenes have grown, fueled by disagreements over offensive strategy, contract negotiations, and the team's long-term vision. The rumor mill hints that Henry, who has never shied away from voicing his frustrations, has finally decided that it's time to take his talents elsewhere, specifically to Buffalo, a team already brimming with championship aspirations. Imagine the impact. A powerhouse running back joining forces with Josh Allen and the Bills' high-octane offense. Analysts are already speculating how the Bills' offensive line would adjust, how Henry's bruising style could complement Allen's passing arsenal, and how this could potentially shift the balance of power in the AFC. Social media platforms are ablaze with fans debating whether this would make the Bills instant Super Bowl contenders or if it's just another pipe dream in the league's endless rumor cycle. As the NFL prepares for the trade deadline and free agency frenzy, all eyes are on Derrick Henry. Will the King truly trade Tennessee for Buffalo? Or is this just another tantalizing story designed to capture headlines and stir conversation? Whatever the truth, one thing is clear. If Henry does choose the Bills, it would be a seismic move that could redefine the NFL landscape for years to come. For now, fans can only speculate, refresh their feeds, and wait for the next official word. Because in the world of professional football, rumors like these are the fuel that keeps the excitement alive. That's a wrap for now. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay on top of all things Buffalo Bills, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what you think in the comments. See you in the next update.